One of my favorite parts about searching for lost media is when the search comes to an end and we get some concrete answers about the topic we've spent so long searching for. And today's video is the perfect example of that. It's the real essence of lost media and the power of a community seeing the search all the way to the end. Recently, I made a video on the channel which detailed a supposedly lost Xbox game based on the Big Comfy Couch TV show. It first appeared on Unseen64 in 2010 and remained shrouded in mystery for 8 years, until the Lost Media Wiki picked up the search. Since then, we've been conducting an active search to uncover more information about the game itself and why it existed in the first place. This resulted in a theory that the game was being developed in the early 2000s by Chris Tang at a studio called Gen AZ. We attempted to reach out to Chris and a few other employees from the studio to confirm our theory before moving forward. However, things slowed down as it seemed likely none of them were going to reply, if not for being busy, then for inactive email addresses. This was until last night when I got a message that claimed Chris Tang himself had entered our server. I honestly thought I was being trolled, but needed to check it out for myself, and to my surprise, it was him. This all came about because Foxlet had sent Chris an email to an account that was still active, so Chris read it and kindly responded, but also joined the server itself to answer our questions. We had a great time gaining insight and history about this game, leading to some new information, lots of new screenshots, and even a couple new mysteries. Firstly, Chris confirmed that this game was 100% real, and produced at Gen AZ as we had theorized. He was actually the lead developer on it, and was working with Radical Sheep to create it, with the goal being to make a playable demo that would accompany mock-ups of other game modes. Some of these images, like the Dust Bunny battles, were of actual gameplay, while others such as the DDR minigame only exist as mock-ups. Two-player compatibility was also planned, as Molly would have been the co-op character, with the entire game having been connected through a hub world that contained 8 different areas. Controls were supposed to be simple, with Chris stating only the D-pad would have been utilized. The game sounded really promising for a kids game, which Chris felt proud of as he discussed it in the server. However, their time schedule on this project was pretty quick, and as a result, some of the screenshots contain assets that look out of place in a game based on a children's show. This was the result of the engine, which was originally created for action-oriented games, but was reused for Big Comfy Couch as a result of this schedule. Though Chris did claim that the Dust Bunny blood was not actually blood, but grape juice, so keep that in mind. However, the project was unable to be completed not because of time constraints, but because of other matters that prevented work from continuing. It's unfortunate that this was the end result, as Chris stated Big Comfy Couch was the sure thing development deal, whereas Power Rangers Legacy, which was also cancelled, was only a pitch demo that never got off the ground. But I'm sure the big question you're looking to get an answer for at this point is, are these games still playable, and do prototypes still exist? Chris confirmed that playable builds of both games do exist, and he owns the only hardware that it ever ran on. However, he doesn't have access to them at this time, but did reassure us that he'll get to them someday, and make a few gameplay videos for us to enjoy. This in itself concluded the search for most people, myself included. We got our questions answered from the man himself, and can rest easy knowing a playable copy is still in existence. However, in the conclusion of the Big Comfy Couch mystery, another one came to light, and this one contains video game characters much more popular than Lunette. There was a passing joke made about a crossover between Big Comfy Couch and Mega Man Legends, as Chris has worked at Capcom previously. While no such crossover ever existed, Chris did post something that blew my mind. An image of Mega Man being surrounded by enemies. Then came another one, Yun from Street Fighter, battling a purple monster, and finally a third of Dante closing in on some more enemies. The server was confused and shocked at the appearance of these screenshots. What were they supposed to be? To the surprise of everyone, this was a project Chris had started and dubbed Capcom Generations. It used the same action engine as Big Comfy Couch and Power Rangers Legacy, but Capcom characters were the stars. You can see many similarities to the 2 other unreleased games just by looking at the on-screen assets here. Chris stated this was a game that he really wanted to make, but unfortunately, the lack of funds prevented it from being made. There wasn't too much discussed about it, but he also stated that there would have been a main story surrounding the characters, and even left us with a screenshot of Super Joe from Bionic Commando. Every game discussed here had a time frame of late 2003 to 2004, and sadly, there were no games that were ever released or saw completion using this engine. Even though the conclusion to all of these games is how they never came out, the insight about them and passion that Chris has for the games he creates is really inspirational, and it's a blessing to know that someone as caring as him preserved this stuff and was willing to share it with the community after all these years. Thanks again, Chris, for spending some time with us, and I think we can say for certainty that the mystery of the Big Comfy Couch Xbox game will remain a mystery no longer.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Be sure to check out some of my other game-related Lost Media videos. Thanks for watching, and until next time, Finn.